Hello and welcome to today's Top 25 Lol Esports Power Rankings, where I'm going to rank the top 25 teams in League of Legends Esports. Some notes to go over. First, on here we have a top 25 that is from the Discord. I went over this in my State of the Channel video a couple days ago. If you join the Discord, you can participate in the power ranking videos. We had 11 participants, and this is what they came up with as a top 25. A pretty nice split between LPL, LCS, and LCK fans. When you join the Discord, you assign yourself a role relative to the region you support or regions, and then I can utilize that to find biases amongst voting. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just good to know where people stand if you're a fanboy, fangirl, fan, etc. So that's a thing. Some teams that got votes that did not make the top 25 on the Discord: IG, Frank Esports, Dignitas, Mad Lions, Koi, Thunder Talk, SoftBank Hawks, Vitality, Deep Cross Gaming, Rare Atom, LGD Gaming, and GAM Esports from Vietnam. So that's there. I hypothesized to them, pick your top 25 if everybody played a best of 5 today. So just 1 second. All right, so we're back. Let's go over this top 25. Let's get it done. 25th place to start us off, Ultra Prime. I can't believe Ultra Prime are in my top 25. I'm very happy for Doggo. He deserves this quite a bit. Been struggling. A lot of people saying that he's not very good. And since his PSG debut, he's been a very good young 80 carry that's kind of just been screwed along the way. So Ultra Prime 25th. Good week. I mean, hell, they're outperforming expectations. They beat Weibo both times, and then IG. In the end, I still, in a best of 5, I have Weibo ahead of Ultra Prime, but losing to Anyone's Legend and Nip, I mean, it's a weird situation, that group, and not only that, a best of 5 without Fearless. That's a whole nother thing in and of itself. Some have said, well, both teams are playing Fearless, so that should even things out. Not necessarily when you take into account that all of maybe Weibo's players haven't played Fearless, but you look at Ultra Prime's roster, 3 of the 5 have been playing in the LDL in the last couple of years and probably have some experience in this format, the coaching staff as well. So, people don't really just think outside of the box. So that's the thing. 24th, Cloud9, dropping 4 spots. Also, relative to the last time I did this, the 4 teams not my top 25 that were before: FPX, OMG, Vitality, and FearX. C9, 24th, beating Dignitas 2-1. It was not the cleanest of 2-1s, but at the same time, haven't played in a while, and Thanatos has to not only acclimate to the team, the culture, etc., but he also hasn't played in a long time. So this is going to take a minute, and people need to give him some grace as well. I think it's kind of ludicrous to expect him to just come right in and be the best top laner in the LCS. I think those people that do that, literally, you should just put a note down next to him, say that individual is not somebody we should trust going forward. 23rd, EDG, dropping 7 spots. So, it's EDG probably could be higher. Theoretically, I think that there's a case to be made there. Beat FPX, beat Thunder Talk, lost to JDG. FPX are not what they once were. Ever since this manager issue took place and they fired them, I'm waiting on this team to kind of show me something. And unfortunately, losing to JDG did not help their cause. So that's the thing. And EDG have good players. In a best of 5 situation, I do wonder how Leave and Wink would look against a better bot lane or more experienced team. And I think that does matter in a best of 5 scenario. You think about these teams that maybe have not been around each other very much. 22nd, CFO. Keep in mind, this team, I believe, is the one that has Karsa and Gory and Sword Art, Shun and Rest in top lane. Beat Deep Cross Gaming and Frank Esports, a solid PCS team. And, people want to think, oh, well, minor regions, this and that. PCS isn't very good. What PSG did at MSI, you have to respect, and then you have to, approach it going forward with a trickle down of how these other teams might be. Speaking of that, 21st, SoftBank Hawks, who, although they lost 3-0 to PSG in the finals of the PCS, the Japanese squad made it that far against PCS teams and 3-0 CFO to do it. They are 4-0 in Japan, beat V3 Esports, Burning Core, who's not, there's a T in that team name now, and I don't know what it is, and then Axis Gaming as well, and in DFM. In DFM, a longtime dynasty of the LJL. If you've watched international events over the years, you know who DFM are, and SoftBank Hawks are better than them. So that's a thing to think about. This team is no slouch. It needs to be respected. 20th, BDS. New to my top 25. And 19th are SK, and we'll talk about these two at the same time. So, both 4-1. BDS beat Vitality, Heretics, G2, and KC. Lost to SK. SK, Rogue, G2, Giant X, BDS lost to Fnatic. So, SK clearly are the third best team right now. The addition of Rahel and Luan have really secured some wins for this team. Personally, I don't think it's as much of X-Kick as it was DOS that was causing issues. In terms of team success. Irrelevance playing better. Isma is not inting his face off enough to really take them down a notch, and Niski is a solid mid laner. BDS, you know what you're getting out of BDS. This roster, essentially the same from last year as well. I mean, one roster change and the team pretty much plays the same way, in my opinion. And if you ban out Adam, the team kind of... It wins, of course, it's winning. It beat G2, but at the same time, if I were looking at the other teams on the board, I'd be like, ban out Adam and then see if the other guys can actually beat you. So that's a thing. 18th, dropping 5 spots, KT. So this is not as much player skill, why I'm dropping them. Lost to DK and KDF. The KDF loss is not a good one because they should be better than KDF. However, KT are messing with the roster. Perfect, not playing all the games. Casting playing some in top lane. And that sort of irregularity is not something I really like seeing and something I usually punish teams for in my top 25 because, if you're splitting scrims, especially with young players like that, I don't think it's going to help either one. Pioshik making some int plays. BDD does his thing. And now that the carry-oriented jungle meta is a thing, BDD probably benefits as a playmaking mid or facilitator mid. And Deft and Barrel are coin flip in the end, so you get what you get out of them if you get anything at all. 17th, Ninja in Pajamas, who are 2-2 on my board. I think I got something wrong here with Nip. Maybe not. Lost to beat Ultra Prime Weibo, lost to IG and AL. Nip, rookie is, if you missed my video yesterday where I went over LPL top players of week 2, rookie was the best mid in his group. He is definitely not the reason why they're struggling. Shanji and Fodik Zhuo, very aggressive. They were first in a couple categories, but at the same time, not doing enough. And it's a shame for rookie. I feel bad for him, but in the end, in a best of 5, I am taking rookie over the teams that are below them. It's just, I'm going to do that. And Nip in general. 16th, I'm putting Weibo. Despite losing to LNG twice, the Weibo players, in a best of 5 with no Fearless, I think they're much better off. So lost to Ultra Prime twice, lost to Nip, beat Anyone's Legend, and IG. Just not, you think about it. Nips are losing IG. Weibo are losing to Ultra Prime twice. Anyone's Legend are the only team that's kind of beating who you expect them to beat, and then dropping a series to Weibo is a thing. But, it's just messy between Weibo and Nip, and then, Ultra Prime, who beat Weibo twice. So, they did, it's just, the fearless thing. It's tough, and I guess I'm projecting out Weibo farther than right now, which is probably not fair to the system. But at the same time, you got people that'll click to the end and then say, you can't say that. And I'm going to say, yes, I can. Why? Because I just did, and I'm going to continue to say it. 15th, LNG, dropping 5 spots. By the way, NIP dropped 6, Weibo 8, LNG 5. Beat OMG, Rare Atom, lost to Rare Atom and Top Esports. Rare Atom lost, not good, but recovered and beat them the second time. Was not clean. That's why they dropped 5 spots. OMG not looking very good as they are making roster changes. And Top Esports are just really good. So that's the thing. LNG, like Weibo and NIP, have good players, and you can't overlook those rosters for what they are. 14th, KDF. So they joined my top 25 once more and shoot up to 14th. Beating KT is significant. Leaper looks like he could be a guy. We'll see how long that works out for them before the meta catches up and things like that. And we figure out how diverse he is, because he is an older player and it's just a weird situation all in and of itself. A player that hadn't been playing for a few years. I think he may have went military or something. So it's definitely an odd situation, but it's working. And beat Bro 2-1. And Bro, I mean, they're one of the worst run orgs in LOL Esports, so that's a thing. 13th, Team Wii, moving up 9 spots. Going into the BLG series, I thought they would lose 2-1, and that's what happened. They play them again tomorrow. LGD and RNG both wins. Those are wins they should have. And beating BLG, losing to BLG is whatever. Team, we have good players. The bot duo of LP and Mark are not inting enough to hurt them, but Fofo and Wayward are playing outstanding right now. Very, very solid games out of them two. So Team We are 13th. 12th, Team Liquid. They beat TL 2-1. I mean, the team showed internationally that they can be competitive, and that's something to note. We can't take that away from them, that they did beat Fnatic, and they did take a game off of T1. So that is a thing. Solid players, of course. Honestly, I'm surprised APA and Neon are... every time I guess they play, I'm surprised. I shouldn't be. I probably shouldn't be. But, I don't know. It's just a slow style of play sometimes that really got to me over the years, and maybe I just kind of haven't been able to get over that yet. Something that I probably should. 11th, Fnatic, moving up 4 spots as they are 5-0 in LEC. So I can finally switch that back after last time saying I have TL above Fnatic, but I think Fnatic are better. Fnatic beating KC, Giant X, Vitality, Rogue, SK. We'll see how they do against G2. I have G2 still high up on my power rankings because, and I've said this last couple of years ever since I started this channel, G2 are the type of team that I just say they are playing for fun, and in which case, if they're playing for fun, I can't hurt them in the power rankings, so that's a thing. But Fnatic, solid team. Humanoid, Razork, a very good mid-jungle duo that don't get enough respect, in my opinion. Statistically, they are outstanding more often than not. 10th, Anyone's Legend. Moving up 7 spots. AL, I say it every time I talk about him. I'm so happy Cal is he's finally able to just have everybody be like, hey, who's that support? Yeah, Cal's been this good the whole time. Just really happy alongside Hope that he's getting the job done. Tabe at coach. Anyone's Legend are a real, some people are saying dark horse. I wouldn't say that. But are they a team that could go to the event? Certainly. They are good enough, and Krakow has really stepped it up. That's somebody that people kind of, even myself may have to say, I may have been wrong about Krakow's, level going into the season. I feel like a lot of people thought Krakow would be holding them back, and I think he leads the LPL in solo kills, if my stats are correct on my document. 9th, PSG. So, this is because, Anyone's Legend beat NIP twice, Ultra Prime IG lost to Weibo. PSG beat West Point and J Team. Are those two significant wins? Not really. But at the same time, last time we saw PSG, they were competitive into BLG. So that's the thing. That's the thing. Very competitive, going to 5 games. PSG have some solid players in every role. I keep saying every team has solid players. I mean, hell, top 25, you'd like to think so. PSG are consistent and get the job done. And the problem is, all the teams below them, for the most part, nowhere near consistent. In which case, in a 5 game series, I think PSG win because they're consistent from game to game. 8th place, G2. Speaking of inconsistent, like I said, they are playing for fun right now, so they're 8th. Beat Giant X, Rogue, Mad Lions Koi, lost SK, and BDS. G2 just doing their thing and inting their face off. And I mean, there's not much else to say about G2 until season finals when, they're supposed to be playing better. When the Esports World Cup happens, I am not covering it. I'm going to be covering what would a World Cup look like if you actually did it, how I believe a World Cup should be. So, 7th, HLE dropping 3 spots. With the way G2 are playing, they would lose to HLE, who have Viper and Delight and Zeka and Peanut and Doran. They have really good players. G2, if you're losing to SK and BDS, you'll probably lose to HLE. HLE lost to D plus Kia. Lucid looks like a guy, and we'll talk about him in a minute. And DRX, 2-1. That's not a resounding win, especially when DRX are doing a lot of things with their roster as well. Frog in top lane, Yahoo in mid, Sponge, Teddy, and play to that roster is a roster for the ages. So HLE losing a game to them, not great, but still elite roster nonetheless. 6th place, D+. D plus Kia, Lucid. See, this is what happens when you give a player more than half the season vitality. That's on vitality too. Vitality should do what D plus did. Keep the jungler. So D plus beat KT, HLE. Lucid is he's always been the guy. Thankfully, he continues to get an opportunity. Aiming and Kellen doing their job. They need to do more of it. Kingen and Showmaker. I mean, DK have a good team. They have a really good team. Solid team. Is it a world's contending team? I don't know about that. But they're 6th place. 5th, T1, dropping 2 spots. Speaking of consistency and inconsistency, T1 are inconsistent. In the current meta, which is a carry-oriented jungle meta, I just do not have owner in that same ilk as the teams above him. Nowhere close. And really, if you think about it, when I get to this point, I am thinking about the meta when I look at what my top 5 ended up being. Owner is just not as hard of a carry as the other junglers I have above him. It's not the case. And maybe that's because of the way their team has to play with Zeus in top lane. You can't do double carry top side. And then, I don't know, I guess, Guma carry, I play a lot of Senna, Ornn, and things like that. But beat Nongshim, DRX, and Bro. All are just screwing with their rosters beyond belief. But lost to gen.g 2-0 in pretty resounding fashion. So that's the thing. T1, could they win Worlds? Yes. Could they not? Yes. 4th place, JDG, moving up 3 spots. With Sheer in the lineup, that team looks pretty fun. Beat EDG, Thundertalk, and FPX, so they're winning their group. Sheer is almost said solid again. Good little rookie up there. Doing well. Kanavi is alongside Canyon, 1A, 1B. I say it every time we talk about them in the same breath. And a carry-oriented meta is where he shines the most. And in that case, it's, Kanavi Yagao is quite a combo to mess with in mid-jungle. So JDG are there. Ruler missing. Playing great League of Legends very quietly. In my top performers, they're top performers both weeks in their group. And at the same time, I mean, EDGs actually look good. So, I mean, it's not the worst group of bot lanes, I guess. Third, BLG. This does not mean that the team does not have one of the best teams on paper. They drop to, we'll just do this in the same breath. Top Esports are second. And why is this the case? Why have BLG dropped? Because, I mean, everybody had gen.g or BLG in the Discord. I think that's most of people's opinion. Beat the teams that were on their schedule. Beat we, LGD, and RNG. But I'm not going to lie. That series against LGD was terrible. Losing a game to Team We and really just not looking very clean. Terrible. The fact of the matter is, BLG are not playing great League of Legends right now. And sure, do they beat everybody else on the board playing this way? Yes, but the fact of the matter is, Top Esports haven't dropped a game. So they haven't dropped a game, beat OMG twice, Rare Atom and LNG. Their schedule is harder than BLG's, in my opinion. And BLG are dropping games and struggling and having to win late game team fights to win. And I think Top Esports are playing better. BLG have a stronger jungler to carry in Shun than Tian, but Tian is doing a solid job. And Kareem is playing great. 369 as one of the best top laners in the world once again. Jackie Love Mako playing interesting bot duos. That Senna Ornn is one of their favorites as well. So Top Esports are second. I'm sure that's going to be a hot take to some, but watch the BLG LGD series and not write it off as, oh, they're just screwing around. Take it for what it is. And it is a game that they played, and that's what we're basing this off of. First, gen.g. That's not too hard, is it? Takes a lot for a team to drop out of my top spot. They have to lose. Let's put it that way. They're going to have to lose for that to happen. So, I mean, self-explanatory. Beat T1, beat FearX. gen.g are excellent in every role. And I don't like talking about Golden Road, so I'm not even going to. But this team is a lot like last year's JDG. I've been saying that all year long. They have the similar makeup of you have to figure out who's going to do what, but that also makes it hard to prepare for them because you can't take one player away and still get away with a win. That player is willing to play the weak side in order for another player to carry in their place. And not every team can say that. Not every fan base is tolerant of that. So that's a thing. But thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.